everyone. So listen, we are building our own at-home balance beam. I know some of you've been in the house for a while, or you've been going to the gym and you come home and you still want to do more. So listen, you need a beam to work on at home, just to work on your basics, stay super safe. You don't want to do any round off full twists, okay? No round off full and back out dismounts off of a home beam, but do your basics, all right? So you can fine tune your basics with your home beam. So let's get together. We're gonna make one, all right? I have a 2x4. A 2x4, it's 36 inches long, all right? So 36, divide it in half, you get the 18 inches, so 18 inches down the middle. That gets your middle point. These are gonna be the 2 feet for the beam. So we're not doing any major sawing. This is actually the only sawing that we're gonna be doing. So you can use something simple like this. If you have a handsaw, use your handsaw, but what I did is I measured from one end to the other, got my midpoint. So you take, this is already 12 inches, all right? So we need 12, get our 12 point, and then from your 12 mark, you mark six inches in, and that's gonna give you your 18, which is your half of your 36. So you wanna get a split right down the middle. We'll get our saw. Again, if you don't have one of these saws, you can use a hand saw to cut, but you definitely want to make sure it's lifted off the ground. Please be super safe. I don't have my goggles, so I'm going to keep my eyes kind of closed for this one. All right. Smells good. Love the smell of cut wood. Okay, so now you got your 2 feet of 2 legs of the beam to give you some elevation off of the ground. Okay? All right, so that's step 1. Okay, great. So now you're done with step 1. I did want to show you guys something really quick. If you see those markings, the markings that I have there, I put them on there to kind of make it easier to decide where I was going to cut. So I don't want you guys to, I know you saw me do it with just the ruler in my hand, but I had before the video started, I used a pen to kind of mark where I wanted to cut. So it's really, really important that you take time to make sure you get that center place, because you don't want your legs or, your base to be uneven. So take your time, don't rush it. If it doesn't look right, measure. I measured like 2 or 3 times to make sure I had it right. Now, step 2, I have a rug here, okay, as you can see. I got the rug there. All right, and now I'm just measuring to see the width. Okay, so the distance is the distance of my this is my 4x4 now. Okay, so the beam is actually 4 inches wide. So that's why you're gonna be hearing me use the measurements 4 a lot. Okay, so 4x4 is 4 all the way around. That gives us 16 inches. All right, so that means we need 16. I want to use at least 20 inches of the carpet to go around the beam, but I'm gonna make a double layer under. So I'm gonna fold this in half, which is gonna actually give me 8 inches, or I can just count 8 inches, and I wanna fold this in half and put it on top of the beam to add some cushion for the top part that we're gonna be using. I've seen, and with this beam, since it's carpet, you're gonna be needing to use socks that have grips or go barefooted. You wouldn't wanna use socks necessarily well, socks shouldn't be on the beam just in general, even if you're using the traditional suede beam. But with this beam, it's gonna be important that you're barefooted, or you're using socks that have grips so you don't slip off of it, all right? But as I said, it's really important that you get a thicker layer up top to give yourself some more push. You're gonna be doing handstands on there. So it's not enough wrapping just to put it around. You could do it like that, but if you have now that you have the opportunity to make it better and kind of give it to yourself, I say let's go with adding the 8 inches on top. You're not gonna really use this carpet for anything else. All right, Nick? You never know. When you finish, you might have a little space mat or something else for the house. But this carpet is 6 by 8. So it's a 6 by 8 rug. As you girls and guys can see, 6 by 8 inches, and it's super easy to cut. It's an exterior and interior rug, so it's going to be used for indoors or outdoors, which is great because you know you might be using your beam indoors or outdoors, and you want it to be protected. So what we'll do, we're going 8 inches in, right? So we'll go 8 inches in because we want to double that layer up, and then we'll put our markings where we want to cut. We'll put a few markings along the way. You could use a marker depending on the color that you're using. Maybe you could build a little beam for the mouses or something like that. But yep, that's pretty much it for that. So now, step 3 is going to be first cutting this rug. All right, again, we are 4 by 4. I would say the extra carpet on top is going to give you an extra inch in one direction. So I would say, you know, even though it's not, but I would just you want to account for that extra layer. So, you know, it has to fold over. So we'll say we give us an extra inch here, say an extra inch here. So let's say we got a 4 by 4 by maybe 5. So, you know, that would give us 8, 12, and that would give us 17 instead of the 16 inches. All right, so let's say it's 17. Let's say it's 17 inches. All right, instead of the 16. So we'll get that extra inch. So we're trying to cover 17 inches with 3 inches of overlap. Okay, so now we're gonna go. You kind of want 2 inches of, at least 2 inches of overlap each way. So the 17 plus the 2 would give us 19, plus the other 2 would give us 21. So I say 22 inches across is a safe fit. You're gonna get some extra overlap, but what you don't want to do is cut and then it be too short. All right, so now we've got all of our nails in, all the way down. For those of you who've done balance beam before, you can see this is starting to look like an actual beam now. And you know, if you get it a little groove right there, no big deal. You know, when you're putting the last final wraps around, you can, you know, suffice for that and make up for that by making it tighter. There was actually some wood inside the carpet. Got a little souvenir there. It's a reminder of my building beam experience. To tell the grandkids about that one. So what you want to do is now use. All right, so you guys are doing great out there. All right, so the way we want to get that 22 inches, make sure you can see what I did. So you got your 12, right? You make your line at the 12. Then put your ruler at 2 inches. So wherever that line was, you put the 2 inches, so that takes away. So that gives you your other 10, and then you put a line right here. And then after you do that all the way down, you're just gonna connect all of your lines. You should have like at least 7 of those lines, and you can use your legs. You can use one of your legs, they're 18 inches. Use that to just and check the consistency of your adhesive every once in a while to make sure it's not drying up on you. Now I just checked it. this is a little bit bigger than the size of my container here. So I'm gonna use this to kind of scoop out my covers and swing it out. Do what you gotta do to make it happen, guys. Alright, so now we're ready to wrap our beam. So we're gonna start with the longer end first. You can kind of use the rug to clean your fingers off. That's what I'm gonna do. Have your nails close by. And we're gonna use this. Pull it in as tight as possible. As tight as possible. Now keep in mind, this outside part that you're touching, this is our actual side that's going to be showing. So you want to be careful, because every mark that you make on that side could potentially be a permanent one. Alright, so. Alright, y'all, we are up to the final, second to last part. I said that once before. The last part is going to be pretty simple, just taking the tape off. We won't even need a video for that. I say let it sit for maybe about 8 hours. Then check the consistency on the edges of, on the edges. Go to the edges of your beam, and that's where you'll be able to maybe touch some of the adhesive to see if it's still sticky, all right? And if it's dry there, the possibility that it's dry throughout the entire beam is very likely. All right. If you want to leave it on there for 24 hours, I would just read the bottle and see what time is recommended to let the adhesive really settle. All right. But again, we're going to do our 7 inches. I was actually able to straighten out that nail. So that's the same nail. I didn't take it out, just straightened it out. It's kind of tough to get out, actually. So let's do our 7-inch measurement again. So we're doing 7 inches. Stand still and see his glory. 7 inches. So that's how we know we're centered. Again, remember, we got 7 and 7, 14. These are 18 inches, so 4 inches is the beam. Okay, so we're centered again. Very, very important that this base. We came 12 inches in. Oh, it's a little bit more than 12. So this is important. Measure that distance and make sure it's consistent with the other side. All right, because the balance beam needs to be balanced. All right, so if you have to move that in, again, make sure there's no nail under it. And then recheck your 7 inches. 7 and 7. And now we're good to go. Again, put your on this side so you can see it. Put this here. So if you see that move while you're nailing it, then you know there's a possibility that your alignment has shifted. Okay. All right. So we'll use our hands to hold it down. Again, try to hit it kind of hard because you want to get it to the other piece of wood as fast as possible. The more times you have to hit it, the more time likely it is to go out of direction. So let's try to make sure we hit it hard and try to get it right through. Your one anchor nail, then you're good to go. Again, check, see if you need to move it a little bit. Once I put it through, I aligned it, and if you can see, I can still move it a little bit, and you still have a chance to align it. So this is, if you're gonna fix it and make it, all right? So really take some time, maybe line it up with a line on the floor. And that's a good idea. I'm actually gonna do that. If you notice, my floor actually has some lines. So if I get a good enough aerial view, see that? Now it's aligned with that line, but this line is not. So that would tell me, let's see, I need to turn my beam a little bit this way. I'm gonna hit it. Could use my hammer. Okay, so get that straight line that you're trying to get and knock it in alignment. Okay, so now over just a little bit more. Good. So use whatever you have available. So we're ready for our second to last nail. I'm just gonna do 3 nails on this one. I just did 3 nails on the other one as well. My hands are kind of sticky. You want to make sure you put your nails maybe about 12 inches apart. I recommend actually putting your base further out. Put your base further out and it will be able to sustain, the weight of any, gymnast or participant. If you put it towards the middle, I put this one 12 inches in, it's primarily for our lightweight gymnasts, okay? Because it can tip, and it's only a 2-inch tip, but if you have a gymnast that's more than 30 pounds or more than 50 pounds, I say you put it at this end, and then you don't have to be concerned about, and it would even be better preparation as they grow. But as I said, I put my nails down the middle, about 12 inches apart, and I left it wrapped in the tape over about 24 hours. Actually 48 hours, which I didn't need that much time. And here's your finished product. You can paint your wood if you like. You want to add some style to it. I would paint it in advance. You can get whatever color carpet you want, but hey, now we got our beam. All right, we're ready to go. All right, so that is how you build a beam at home. And now you're ready to have some fun. All right, so you can give it to your daughter, your goddaughter, your sister. It's a nice surprise. Okay, so have fun.